Hello girls, thank you for clicking on this video. Today we're going to wrap up our Christmas lessons with the story of the wise men. Now this is going to be in Matthew chapter 2. It's just the whole chapter that we're going to be summing up today. Next week we're going to start lessons on Moses, so that's going to be very exciting. But today we are in Matthew chapter 2. And we're going to start in verse 1. Go ahead and leave a prayer request and something fun you've done. Maybe your favorite Christmas present, or maybe the favorite activity you did. Maybe you made cookies or fudge. I know one Christmas, my sister and both of the girls, we were in the kitchen for 8 hours cooking, baking, having a big old time. So comment down below something fun you've done and we'll get started. So Jesus at this point has been born. The shepherds saw his star. They went and saw Jesus and they went and told everybody about Jesus and that the Savior was born. So at this point, Jesus is a little bit older, maybe 2 years old. And the wise men are going to come and find where he is. So a lot of times we think that the wise men visited Jesus in Bethlehem, in the manger, when he was a newborn baby like the shepherds. But that's not the case. They went to the place where they had lived or where they were staying. So Jesus was about 1 or 2 years old. It says in verse 1, now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. Now, these wise men had to travel a long, long way. And these men were like scholars. They would study the sky. And so they saw his star and they knew that this was going to be the Savior's star. Verse 2 says that the wise men asked, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. And when Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with them. So Herod was the king, and he felt threatened, because all of a sudden, these wise men are looking for the King of the Jews. Now we know that Jesus, being King of the Jews, just meant that he was going to come as their Savior and as the Savior of the world. But Herod felt threatened. He thought that Jesus was going to take his place and kick him out of office. Verse number 4 says, and when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes together, he demanded them where Christ should be born. And they said, the prophecy says Bethlehem. Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem. And he said, okay, you go and find this King of the Jews, and when you find him, come back and tell me so I can go and worship him. That's not what he wanted to do at all. He was tricking them. He wanted to go and get rid of the King of the Jews. He wanted to get rid of Jesus. Verse number 9, when they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them till it came and stood over where the young child was. So we know there he's not a baby anymore. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. They've been following the star who knows how long, and finally it's led them to Jesus. And when they were coming to the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And that night, they were warned in a dream. God warned them that Herod is up to no good. Don't go back and tell him where Jesus is. And so they went home another way. They didn't go back to Herod because God warned them in that dream. Verse 13, and when they were departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeareth to Joseph in a dream, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother and flee to Egypt. And be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. So God warned Joseph, and Joseph got up. It was the middle of the night because he had been having a dream, so he must have been asleep. And it says in verse 14 that he took the young child and his mother by night. So here's Joseph and Mary and the little boy Jesus, and they are traveling. And people did not travel by night then. It was very dangerous. But he took off because he took God's warning to heart. So they went and they dwelt in Egypt. And Herod, he was so worried that this king of the Jews was going to rise up and take his place, that he had all the baby boys that were 2 years old and younger killed. Herod was a very evil king. And no matter what he did and how he tried, he did not get rid of Jesus. Verse 19 says, "But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother and go into the land of Israel, for they are dead which sought the young child's life." So as soon as Herod had died and God knew that it was safe for Joseph and Mary and Jesus to leave Egypt, he let Joseph know in a dream, and they were able to go and live in Nazareth. Because in the Old Testament, it said that Jesus would be called a Nazarene. So God had this planned out from the very beginning. Our text truth today is Jesus is worthy of worship. These wise men went through a lot to get to Jesus and worship him. All I have to do to get to church is walk across the street. And a lot of you guys live super close to church, and even if you live far away, you just hop in your car and ride. But you know what? These wise men, they walked and they traveled a really difficult way to get to Jesus and worship him. But the wise men knew it would be worth it to see with their own eyes the Savior of the world. I love you, girls. Next week, we're going to be talking about Moses and what God did in his life. And it is an amazing, amazing story. So we're going to get into that for the next few weeks. So if you know something about Moses already, go ahead and comment that down below. And we'll see who knows something about Moses. I love you, girls. I'll see you next week. Bye.